Good morning, guys. Good morning. And I am so glad that you are here with me today on this beautiful Saturday. Listen, I just wanted to reach out just really briefly with y'all today because I have been getting some requests, and it just appears to me that circumstances in our lives, it is really beginning to take a toll on our mind. And it's so interesting because we're only, you know, 1 week, I think 1 week into this new 12-month cycle, and already, the enemy is trying to gain ground in our minds. He wants to get control of our thoughts. And I just wanted to reach out today to encourage somebody to let you know this right here. Do not allow the enemy to use your circumstances to brainwash you. Do not allow the enemy to come into your mind for you to pay attention to something that's going on in your life to brainwash you, to manipulate you, to seduce you, and to discourage you. For the word says this, Galatians 6:9, let us not grow weary or become discouraged in doing good. For at the proper time, we shall reap a harvest if we do not give in, if we do not faint. Okay? I want you to understand that the enemy wants you to be irritated, incapacitated. He wants you worried, worn out, discouraged. Do you understand what I'm saying? Washed out and fatigued. Because a lot of times we are changing something for the very first time in our lives. And that takes a lot of faith, a lot of God in our lives, and a lot of just being intentional with our lives. When you're intentional with something, you have to stand firm on what God has shown you. Because what I want you to understand is that the enemy is after your enemy is after your seeds. He's after the thing that God has promised you. He's after everything that you have silently talked about that no one knows about but you and God. He's after dreams. He's after hopes. He's after your love. He's after anything good that you have going on in your life. And what happens is when we don't have control of our mind, he will begin to come through our mind to make us look at everything that's going wrong in our life. Things that may be stressing us out, things that are beyond our control. I want you to understand this. Greater is he that is in you that could ever be in this world. A circumstance is only a residue of an old thought pattern. As a conscious creator, you have the power to change circumstances in the twinkling of an eye. And the reason why you have the power to change circumstances like that is because who you are connected to. I want you to understand the power that you possess inside. I want you to understand that you are a child of the Most High. I want you to understand that you're made in his image. He found delight in you, which means that he has downloaded in you supernatural ability to conquer anything in this dimension. I want you to know that we were born into sin. We were born into a world that totally is opposed to the will and the things of God. It is the enemy's job to be on his job to convince you to believe that you can't change your life, that your circumstances is just going to swallow you whole. He wants your hope. He wants your vision, and he wants your dreams. I'm just here to let you know that you cannot allow the enemy to come in through your circumstances to brainwash you. I want you to understand that life is not happening to you, chosen ones. That life is merely happening through you. As we think, we see. As we feel, we see. You have to understand that if a circumstance is showing up in your life that's overwhelming you and stressing you out and have you feeling like you just don't know how you're going to make it, the first thing you need to do is just take a breath. And I want you to understand that it is going to be all right. See, the whole idea of fighting the good fight of faith is taking our mind and affixing it and attuning it to God, to the things of God in the midst of things maybe falling apart in your life. Because when we can take our mind out of the frame of worry and we can place our mind in the frame of peace, then it's something spiritual that begins to happen. We begin to move out of the way to allow the Spirit of the Lord to come in and work situations out. But as long as we keep our mind affixed on worry and fear and frustration and anger and resentment and hopelessness, then we are pushing God out. I want you to understand that you need to not only open up your mind, but allow your mind to be elevated on the things of God. So when stress shows up in your life, focus on peace. I don't care if you have to say it 500 times in 1 hour. When you're feeling overwhelmed, just take a breath and say, God, I don't understand it. I understand that overwhelming is showing up in my body right now, but I release that in the name of Jesus Christ. I understand the spiritual war going on right here, and the enemy's trying to use my emotions to keep me down. But I say, God, I give it to you, and I believe what you told me when you told me that you would work everything out for me. I don't know how, I don't know where it's going to come from, but I do believe in you. And learn to just rest in unseen things. When you can learn to just rest in unseen things, then what happens? Your circumstances change. A circumstance is only an illusion to keep you outside of what God has for you. Learn how to use the power that he's equipped you to use by taking your mind and placing it on things above, on the kingdom of heaven and the way it operates. And what I can assure you, that you will reap a harvest if you faint not. And until the next video, guys, peace, because I still believe in you. Bye now.